Alright, another version of the other side of the wall of cut and paint. Obviously it's a continuation of several videos, but this is a standalone video because I'm painting that part of the cut of that side of the wall. We are using low VOC Ultra Spectre Benjamin Moore Spec 500 low VOC paint. This is a cut brush. I'm not getting into all the other particulars, but this is a nicer brush for cutting. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for a like, share, subscribe. Thank you for checking out our channel and our other videos of all sorts of variety of family channel style. There's some other stuff, video games, a little bit of food. That's the cut brush. Anyways, just throwing that in there. You know. All right, I'm going to give it a shot. Here we roll. Let's see. All right, you're not going to see me putting the paint in the bowl like I did before. But it's kind of like a tedious situation. People like the wider film, but it's better if you do the narrow one. And the camera actually holds better in the tripod that I'm using, which is an easel, which I've converted to a phone holder a long time ago. I've actually just got a clip hooked there with the clamp. Not a C-clamp, but the grip clamp kinds is what you would call them. This is looking more like a turquoise than a blue. I hope she realizes that, because maybe she'll just want to color the wall. If she doesn't like it, maybe we can go over it with a dry brush or a wet brush. I don't mind this color, but it's not. I thought she said blue. This is more like an aqua, or I don't know what the heck it is. A different flavor for sure. From what I was expecting. Now getting up and down with this paint and stuff is the tricky part. Luckily this thing's weighted and balanced enough that will hold you. Scaffold's in a different video. If you don't know more about scaffold. Portable scaffold. Alright, let me see. It's been an hour since I painted, so I always gotta get the brush going. Oh man. It's kind of like you forget to paint sometimes. Alright, let me try it this way. Trying to hold all this stuff's tedious, so for the first mark, I was like, I find a place. Ooh, I guess I went the wrong way. Alright, let me start again with my craziness. I need to cut this way. So I want to clean the back side of the brush facing the ceiling. And go from there. The plaster's off a little bit there, so you just kind of like paint what's pleasant to the eye. You're freehanding at that point. I can hold this in the hand. It's just hard when you're leaning like that at an odd angle over an open window. On the end of a scaffold with a paint ladder, where if you fell, you would be knocking it down. So, believe me, all that was in my mind. And if you're on a scaffold, it should be in your mind too. A little higher on the ceiling than I wanted, but this brush is good for cutting. I touched the ceiling a little there. I didn't get enough there. So we're doing what I don't want to do. Paint a little faster than the other one. That's why you sacrifice even going a little faster. Plus the ceiling's arched funny there, and then there's a line now. But most people won't notice that, luckily. And I think I can fix it right there. Plus the harsh distraction to the eye. When people look at that heart, they won't look at the corner of the ceiling as much. That was just put there randomly when I painted the room years ago. Just inspired as my daughter's room. We didn't want to make it all pink. She was too young to choose. So we painted it a light purple, lavenderish, but it was more for the purple, not the lavender. You can see the color of the windowsill there. I should have taped this corner. Because I have a different color going on this wall, there's no tape. So I'm going to have to exercise due care. Well, you know, it's hard painting a corner. I didn't see it. Alright, this is the part that's going to be tricky. Alright. You can see that the harder part's going to be painting the other wall, which it always is. To do this corner, I'm going to have to move the scaffold closer. It's just too far off the beaten path. What we're trying to do here, I should have had it closer, but I got too many directions I'm going, and I was trying to reach it, but it's just a little too far. So, put the thicker paint on the wall. Use the cut brush. Got a nice cut going, so I want to keep it going. There you go. Had too nice of going. Had a nice burn going, a nice line. Nice draw. No, it's usually second coated, but some of this is going on thick enough, it doesn't really need it. And if it drips down, it's dripping to where I can feather it out. I just want to be careful not to touch the ceiling, because I tell you, I mean, there's probably cloths and stuff. It's just not the same. Once you do that, you got to kind of do that without hitting the wall, and then later you're going to have to retouch it, because this blue will show. So one place you definitely want to go slow on the cut. I usually do 2 layers on the window, and I fan it out, feather it out, whatever, blend it. I just don't usually square it off. I said that in the other one. It's something I always done. I don't mind these lines, so when you roll it, to me it blends different. And she wanted all these nails left, so this is the chore of painting the nails, then painting the wall around it. Sometimes if I think of it, I'll actually paint the nails early and then let them dry. Think of it. Of course, now you're risking the chance of bumping into them and spreading the paint on you. But that's why you wear old clothes or painter clothes. Make the circle. The paint's nicer the second time. I like to leave a bench paint around there. And if you ever take the nail out, either put a bigger screw in or a sticker over it or patch the thing. And I find a paint that blends. Making it circular-ish. Usually I fan it out, but these ones like where at the angle I'm at, just quicker or just as quick. Like around the outlet. It's got the circle. Like there, if I can, I'll move the hook. Because it's not, if you keep it out, it won't stick to the wall anyways, and then it'll still have paint behind it. I've always noticed that a long time ago. It's good to do. Well, and they recommend you take all the stuff off, but since it's here, it's just a little nicer if you take it off. It has most of the paint behind it. Especially if you're trying to add paint later, blend it. What's going on? Nice. Got a nice thick coating on it. Alright, now I want to get above that heart a little bit better. Hard to see there. Guess I'll just use the cut brush. If I can get in there. I have a smaller brush, but either way, these brushes are too big for right here, and I do have some smaller brushes. But this is sufficient. If it was tighter, I would get a painter's, like an artist brush or the smallest brush I can get. I've used artist brush a lot in the lines before. Sometimes it actually makes it more wavy if you don't use a brush like this or bigger. So you probably don't want to do that, but I've done it. It works. Gotta go slow. They said these hearts were from inspirational painting. I wish I could have done other signs and symbols, but mostly I could think of was hearts. So I didn't want to do a bunch of spots and stuff. I figured we could always add stickers or placards or paintings or wall hangings or paint something over it, but we never did. Put a lot of posters on the wall, which was sufficient. I'm going to have to roll this. It just turned out. I can see little white spots that I don't like. I'll buy, if I have to, I'll buy more paint if we run out. Second coat anywhere that needs it. Unless they're going to dry brush it. Wet brush it. Alright, I have to add paint to this. I'm going to have to move the scaffold down and go through cutting that the best I can with what I got to work with. But I gotta get paint in the barrel. Alright. Now I gotta figure out how to get down without spilling paint. Paint to the left. To the right. Alright. I'll stop that one there and jump